Stephen and his family are givers. They are compassionate, they are kind, they want what's best for our communities, and they show that in ways of supporting many organizations that they truly believe in.
I can remember as a youngster, probably 7 or 8 years old, going to my grandmother and grandfather's house, and they used to have charity boxes lined up to put in money every day to help people that were less fortunate to them. That was really my first exposure to our family as donors to people that are less fortunate.
My in-laws are the Singers, and my parents. I grew up in Boston. Both families were very big believers in giving back to the community and philanthropy and helping those that are less fortunate than ourselves.
Well, my parents raised, they had 7 children, and it's a way of life for the 7 of us to give back to the community. Very proud of my oldest brother, Stephen. My first wife passed away nearly 35 years ago, and when her name was Gail, and when she passed away, Stephen wanted to do something in her memory, and he has quarterbacked over the last 34 years a blood drive in Gail's memory.
Well, the one that is nearest and dearest to my heart is the Gail Singer Memorial Blood Drive. Gary's wife died at a very young age with 2 young children surviving. We wanted to help perpetuate her memory and her ideals, and the blood drive has been a perfect marriage for us.
In spite of this catastrophe that struck the Singer family 35 years ago, we took the situation and made the best situation possible. Other people have been able to flourish and live a much longer life as a result of the amount of blood that we have raised over the last 35 years.
People want to see Stephen. He is there to greet every single donor that comes in. He wants their experience to be very positive, but he wants their experience to also last a longer time than just that day. His intent for the success of the Gail Singer Blood Drive is that people come back to give blood, to make sure that the gift of life is always going to be there for those who need it. That is the long-standing legacy that the Gail Singer Blood Drive is providing to this community.
We decided that we wanted to make this blood drive very special, and so the first year we did it, we just got our feet wet. We had maybe 100 people, but we knew we wanted to make it bigger and better and more of a signature event for our community. Everybody bought in, and we did it down at the Radisson Hotel in Manchester. And people, it's so heartwarming for me personally. People waited 3 to 4 hours to give blood so that they could be part of that record. And lo and behold, we had, I think, 1,957 units of blood that were given that day. It broke a record that was held by the St. Louis Cardinals and the University of Missouri. And that record from 6 years ago still stands today, one of the proudest moments in my life.
One more bid we need. Can we get 2,500?
Obviously, when I became mayor and started the Blind Breakfast, Steve was one of the first persons my sister and I reached out to and said, "Can you help us with this?"
That event I've co-chaired with Mayor Baines for the last 18 years. We've raised over $1 million for local charities, including the American Red Cross, the Special Olympics of New Hampshire, and the International Institute.
The Blind Breakfast the year after I left office was not a very successful event. You know, I had lost the election, I was in a funk, my sister was dying of cancer, and I said, I think that's it, we're going to call it a wrap. I'm not mayor anymore, and somebody else can do fundraising for these charities, hopefully. And Stephen said, hold on a minute, we're not giving up this event.
We looked at the legacy of Stephen Singer and merchants and all the family has done for us for many, many years. It really was, we have to do that. We have to honor Stephen and his family this year.
Gail was a very, very warm, maternal, caring person who had very, very high set of values and loved doing good deeds. She was a person who would wake up in the morning thinking, what can I do to make the world a better place?
When I look up in the dictionary and I see a picture of somebody who gives back to the community, I see a picture of Stephen Singer there.
But behind that, there's a very soft human being who's very down to earth, and you can sit and schmooze with over lunch or dinner anytime, and you'll find a very warm personality behind that.
The legacy of the Singer family endures, not only with Stephen, but all of his family that are still involved with merchants.